Hello again, YouTube. This is Rob A, and we're going to take a look at something cool today. I have Voyager Dreadwing from the Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise series. Now, these were called Powerizers originally, but to be honest with you, I don't see Powerizer listed anywhere on this package. So let's take a quick look at the box first. It's got some cool artwork on the side here from the show. Light up blaster cannon. We'll get to that later. And really quick, here's his bio. For too long, Dreadwing has lived in the shadow of Starscream, but with the Seeker Commander out of favor, he is more than happy to step into his rightful place at the right hand of Megatron. His power and intelligence have always been dangerous, but with a Decepticon Legion at his command, the very survival of the Autobots is in question. So yeah, he's got some decent specs there. Yeah, not bad. Skill of 5 seems a little bit low, but yeah. Pretty cool. Sword included. Weapon activates Energon Glow, and again, we'll get into that in a little bit. But for now, let's check out Mr. Meat and Potatoes of this, Dreadwing himself. Alright guys, here we have Dreadwing, and I really like him. I was unsure, looking at pictures, whether or not I was actually going to enjoy this guy. Just because I had seen this piece right here, and it looks much less awful in person. Like, holding it in hand, you really don't like, you can't even see it from the top down, and from the front on, it's there. You definitely notice it, but it's not nearly as big an eyesore in person. Just to take a quick look around here, we have side view. It's really nice looking jet, very beefy, very powerful looking vehicle mode. Now, I'm sure many of you already know that, yes, his hands do stick out the back here. But to be perfectly honest, again, like, holding it from the side, even from the top down, I mean, they're so small compared to the rest of the body of the jet, you really don't notice it that much. It does seem kind of lazy that Hasbro couldn't just, have a simple hinge, just like first edition Starscream, where his hands just kind of fold onto the forearm. But other than that, I really do like it. It's very, very, very powerful and sleek looking. So I don't know if many of you know this or not, but these back fins are all floppy rubber. Not even bendy plastic. They are straight up rubber. As well as the side fins and the nose cone. Rubber. But it's not, like, it doesn't, I don't see any problem with it. It allows them to have a little bit more of it, sharper edges on the toy, which I appreciate. I think it really adds to the look of it. And the rubber doesn't bother me. Like, you can whack this thing into stuff without worrying about damaging the toy. And if it happens to get deformed or anything like that, you just take a hairdryer to it, warm it up, and you can bend it right back into whatever shape you like. So let's quick comparison. This is a bit random, but I had this lying around, so I figured I'd just drag it out. We have Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class Starscream as a quick size comparison. Obviously, Starscream is much larger, but he's a leader class toy, and he's big even for, like, leader class vehicles. This is just a hefty toy, but you can see, get a quick idea of the size of this guy. Another quick comparison would be a regular Viacon So you can see he's definitely a decent size compared to the Viacon in vehicle mode. And yeah, I like him. So here's the problem. Hasbro, I have a question for you, and anyone watching out there, maybe you can answer this too. What is this? What on earth is this supposed to be? I cannot figure it out. I understand this right here is a gun. Okay, and that's fine. But what is this? And why am I supposed to attach this onto the top of a jet? I don't know what... I don't get it. Please someone explain this to me. Like, I could understand if this was like one weapon and it turns into another weapon, or if it was like an engine that the barrel popped out of that we attach onto here and make them go super fast. But this is a large chunk of plastic with a light in it for reasons I can't figure out, because you have to hold this down to keep it lit, and it doesn't, it's not a gun unless you're pressing on it. These MechTech weapons bug the crud out of me, I have to say. Most of the time I just toss them in a box somewhere, but in this case it's kind of an, you know, this gun is a kind of a big deal. That, you know, Dreadwing has this huge cannon on the show, and it's just unfortunate that we decided to spend the time and money to engineer and put plastic and batteries and joints and things into a piece that could have just been solid piece of plastic. Even if you wanted to stick a light in there and just have a button, or even just a lever, a small lever, have it look like this, small lever here, press on the lever, the light goes forward and does the whole trick with the forearms still, you know, it's supposed to light up their forearms or whatever. But this is nonsense. Absolute nonsense. But enough of that. Also comes with a sword, and it's pretty much useless in this mode, so let's transform this guy. See what he's like in robot mode. Alright, so to transform this guy, I'm not necessarily going by the instructions. Look at the size of these instructions, by the way. It's pretty great. I'm not going to go in the same order. I'm going to do the same things, obviously, but not in the same order, just because I'm a rebel. Because I'm a rebel and I'll do what I want. Alright, so anyway, we're just going to take these winglings and get them out of the way. Flip those up, pull them back. This back piece just comes up a little bit. These back fins detach. Okay, and just kind of fold those out of the way for the moment. Come around here and just unplug his legs, and then the waist is attached here by 2 pins, and those just come up 2 pegs and get him out of the way. And here we have his arms, which you unpeg and pull to the side. So this guy's a whole lot of get everything out of the way and then put it all back. Which is cool. Alright. So we have his head here. Just want to make sure I'm doing this right. I transform him a couple of times, but you know, once you get behind a camera, you seem to just mess everything up, I've noticed. So here's his waist. You just want to stick that together. His legs and his feet, fold those out. Now these fins back here, you just kind of angle them any way you want, but I like to put them down because they make really nice stabilizers for his feet. You can get some really good poses with those down, so you just press them in and they kind of lock into place pretty securely. I'm going to take the top here and pull this apart. This is kind of hard to get apart. There we go. And these side pieces come off. They'll become his shoulder pads. And they just kind of come off and up to the side here. Again, I apologize, but this is not the easiest thing to do through a camera viewfinder, I have to admit. So these two halves pop out and slide up, and then they become his torso, his lower torso. And then we take this gold translucent piece here, pop this out, and pop the nose cone down, and then we kind of just fold everything on itself. Make sure this this gold piece goes through this hole here. Alright. Oh, and don't forget to fold the wheel in. Landing gear. And then plug his torso into his waist. Alright. Make sure that's all secure. Just fold his shoulder pads. Push his arms up into place. And turn those around. Turn those around. There we go. Spin his wrist. Spin his wrist. Alright. We're gonna just fiddle with the back here until we get the wings the way we like them. They come down on this little hinge piece and push in, so they're just kind of halfway down his back, like pretty accurate to the show, if I remember correctly. And then we just take his head, pop it up, and push it down into place. Now the head does not lock in, which is kind of a bummer, but it's not that big a deal, honestly. It does get pushed back sometimes, but not enough to really make me dislike this figure, because it's just a really cool looking figure. I mean, check him out. He is pretty awesome looking. Let's get him into a standing pose. Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. So he's got decent articulation going on here. He's got ball jointed hips with a little bit of upper thigh rotation. Not a whole heck of a lot. Not a whole lot of range of motion there. Knees. His knee pads are also the soft rubber, by the by. Knees. He's got a little bit of foot movement just due to the way he transforms. Arms, he's got a ball jointed shoulder. He's got a bicep swivel, elbow swivel, and wrist swivel. Head is on a ball joint. Let me raise this up. Head is on a ball joint, a very stiff one. You know, full range of motion there. He's got nothing really hampering his movement there. Shoulder pads are on ball joints, so they can move out of the way fairly well, and they can move back for, you know, moving his arms up, so they don't really get in the way. His wings have a little bit of wiggle to them, so you can kind of move these around how you like. You can even put them back sort of into his jet formation, so, you know, if that's your preference, you can have his wings, you know, up higher, like so. But I like them down like this. And yeah, so here we have Dreadwing. His sword can go in his hand, or you can, so I've got a 5mm port, you can plug it onto his you know, his forearm. You can also, he comes packaged holding it like this. I'm not sure exactly what that's all about, but, and you can also stick it on his back, so you can have him with his sword mounted on his back, just like in the show. And yeah, so far pretty cool. Now here's this thing. Alright. So the whole point of this gimmick is we're supposed to put it here on his wrist, and then we push it, and oh look, it lights up his forearm for a second. Okay, that's great. Look at that. How useful is that? You know, I am so glad it... Look at that thing. It's ridiculous. I'm so glad we sacrificed his having an actual gun so that you could light up his forearm for a second. That is so worthwhile. Now, Hasbro, I don't want to bash on you guys because I love this toy. I do. And the Prime line for me has been mostly pretty awesome. But this is not... I don't get it. I will never understand this, and I don't think you'll ever be able to convince me that it's a worthwhile endeavor, because it's pretty dumb to me. But you can take this, and you can take his sword, and you can plug his sword into it. Also, I've tried to mount this. Like, I've tried to have him hold it. He can't really hold this very well to have the underslung weapon. But, yeah, you could, I guess you could kind of twist his hand around and have him hold it, but I don't know why you'd really want to. It's just, yeah, I don't know. But you can attach those two things together and, stick it on his back, and then he can be incredibly back heavy. But the good news is that because of the fins on his legs and just the size of his feet, he can handle being kind of back heavy, and that's pretty cool. Yeah. So I've got to stop this for just a second, but I'll be right back with size comparisons. See you in a second. Okay, guys, we're back, and just to do a quick size comparison for this guy, I'll show him off with the Deluxe Viacon, and I think we'll also show him with, let's see, First Edition Prime. So, as you can see, Prime is going to be a little bit taller here. But they still look very good together. I think he's about the same size as Megatron. And, yeah, he definitely, just his overall bulk just gives him a really nice feel with the rest of the, especially the rest of the Robots in Disguise figures. I really do like him, and I definitely recommend him to anyone who is either collecting the Prime line or who just likes awesome Transformers and isn't necessarily attached to any line in particular, but I think he's stylized, but not so much that he would look terribly out of place even on a like a classics shelf. I'm not entirely sure who he would be on a classics shelf, but he definitely gets my vote. So that's been my review of Voyager class Prime Robots in Disguise Dreadwing. Once again, let's have no more of these, please. They're just insanity. I can't take these things anymore. I can't do it. I can't take them. Yeah. So, thanks for watching me flip out, and just thank you so much for watching. As always, be sure to comment, subscribe, and like if you found this video helpful. And hopefully I'll see you next time with something cool. Alright. Thanks so much.